I know most people have been wondering when can I be not only a member of a Yakuza gang but also a pirate. That time is now, everybody. That's
While you're in Hawaii.
I'm gonna rewind this a little bit.
Yeah.
So that is right now. So Kyle is currently. This is by the way an ACG video here. The
Oh,
last the
cool.
last one was just a trailer from PlayStation's channel. So this is ACG, and they're just giving a pretty in-depth review of it. So there might be a couple things that flash up, but most of it should be gameplay of Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. Kyle, tell me what you think about this one so far. Is it what you expected? Are they? Is it really just feel like a bunch of mini games and smaller spin-off experiences from the main series? How would you describe this one?
Yeah, this studio is like the king of reusing assets. Like you're taking a test here. We've been doing that in every Yakuza game for like 6 games now. Like
Yeah.
it's so like they're the king, but it always feels fresh, and it's sometimes it feels like kind of coming home, if you will. So
Mm.
it's like this thing, hearing certain musical cues, like whenever a sub story suddenly gets kind of like
Can we just talk about that
nice.
for a quick second? This
Yeah,
guy
yeah.
threw a boomerang sword. You jumped up, caught it, spun around, threw it right back into his head.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's your teammate too, so it's like that was a team up move. So yeah, these are like called heat moves. So it's like in the middle of a battle when you fill up your gauge, you can like initiate sometimes a combo attack like
That's
that, and
so
like
cool.
you and your buddy will attack a singular guy or a group of guys. Man, this game's a lot of fun. Like it's the combat's really ridiculous. Like the game likes to remind you that Majima, the main character, is 60 years old. But
What?
nobody ages in Yakuza, Tim. So we
Stop
just
That
it.
guy
we just
right
have to
there is
let that
60?
we just have to let it go, Tim. We got to move on.
I can't, I
We
can't
got
let
we
it
got to get
go.
all the way off my back about it. We got to move on. No, but the game, the last few games have with Kiru as well, where it's just like, remember, he's like 55 and he's 60, and it's just like he looks the same as he did when he was 20 in Yakuza One. They've never really updated his character model.
Sure.
So I think that's just so funny.
Yeah.
But this game is absurd. Like the game starts off with like you like landing on an island and meeting like a little like Hawaiian kid or whatever, and like they immediately obviously speak each other's language, and like Majima is narrating the story, and he's like, I'm not going to bore you with how we got past the language barriers, we're just going to move past it, and then he never mentions it ever again.
That's
And like
awesome.
that's the type of like, it's just, I like when a game's just like, here are the cards, I'm putting it all on the table, it's
Yeah.
wacky, and we're not going to stop being wacky. And this game is like it's definitely the most ridiculous game in the franchise, because even when like Yakuza did like um samurai, story. Like that was a really like there was almost no comedy in that game at all. It's just a really serious
Ishin
story.
or
So
whatever
it's
it's
like, yeah,
called.
Ishin,
Yeah.
yeah. But this is like really absurd. It's just the most absurd thing in the entire world. The ship combat's a lot of fun. I can see how it's going to get repetitive, but like it's as deep as it's. I would even say even more arcadey than like Assassin's Creed's takes on like ship combat, like in Assassin's Creed 3 and Black Flag and stuff like that. So even more arcadey, maybe a little more streamlined, controls, but very similar to that in feel and everything.
Look at your
Um,
shark fiddle attack.
you can summon people with cursed instruments, and now look, there's sharks jumping up everywhere. Yeah, and you could throw your swords like boomerangs, and you go to a giant like
It's
Las
so
Vegas,
flashy.
a pirate Las Vegas in the sea, like where everyone like bets on Coliseum fights and
Yeah.
stuff like that. This game is
Sweet.
so ridiculous, and in the first like I've played it for like 8 hours now. I have done so many things like that. It's just I have never done anything for very long. It's just so you kind of move on to the next thing
That
pretty
grapple hook
quickly.
was kind of cool, a little Spider-Man esque.
I'm really trying to get that. That's what I'm trying to mainline the story for right now.
Okay.
Yeah, because you can use it to get around in the open world, and you can use it in
How's
combat.
the
And
pirate sailing?
it's fun. The sailing again. It's a little like all this stuff is kind of cool because you can like stop on random maps like this. He's like pulling up to a random island, and then that's like a mini dungeon, and you just kind of run
Okay.
through and beat up a bunch of pirates and get a piece of
Get some
treasure at the
stuff.
end.
Okay.
And every time you get treasure, your pirate renown goes up, and it's all about like chasing. Chasing like to be the best pirate in the land, and they never explain why everyone's dressed up like pirates.
Yeah,
Like
I was
stuff
gonna
like
ask you
that.
what's even the premise
They
of like
I
don't.
think
They
it's
no.
you're
set
in
in
this.
modern
He
day,
just
right?
like you just like it's set in modern day. He
Yeah.
just wakes up on the beach one day and pirates attack him. And he's like, "What is everybody cosplaying?" And then he never mentions how weird it is ever again. It's like he just buys in that everything is like this now, and that's okay.
So maybe his brain is also dying, so he sees
Yeah.
everything as pirate.
Everybody
right?
around him is playing along though. Usually in the other games, they're like, he's going crazy, you know. But
Okay,
like
okay.
it's like everybody is having in a fugue state in this game where they think that pirating, like it's a Black Sails comic,
That is so funny.
is come to life. But yeah, it's really cool. I like this is what people probably wanted when they were probably looking at what's that game that EA made.
Oh my gosh, the sales,
Oh,
the black, not Black Sales. That's the show. What's it called?
Jesus. That's how much
Ubisoft's
it mattered.
pirate failure.
Yeah,
Quadruple
that's how
A.
much it mattered.
It's called
Yeah, the
Quadruple A, I think.
Quadruple A the
Quadruple
game.
A.
Yeah, like, this is what people
Skull and
wanted,
Bones.
I think.
Skull and
Yeah,
Bones.
thank you,
Yes,
Skull and
there you
Bones.
go.
Like to
Skull
get
and
off
Bones
on
indeed.
islands and like fight stuff, and like I don't know, like this is like the pirate game probably a lot of people are waiting for, and
Yeah.
why we wait for like a remake for Black Flag or Black Flag 2 or whatever, or somebody else to come in and make a pirate game. It's insane to me. We don't have like a surplus of 5 pirate games.
Yeah.
I know.
But yeah, man, it's a good time. I'm really enjoying it. It is cool to like get the Honolulu, which is not a major part of like the story at all. Like it's just a place that you kind of stop at, and like that's where I'm at right now. And it is a major part of the story I'm doing now. But like everything else has been like kind of out like in the ocean and like going to islands and going to Atlantis and stuff like that. And I know that that's ultimately where I'm going back out to again.
So you can
I'm
recruit
trying-
a crew and like assign them
Yep.
to roles on your
You
ship
assign
and
them to
stuff,
roles.
yeah.
You can find crew members on the
kinda fun.
mainland by like doing quick missions for them or collecting stuff for them and yada yada. They level up. You can take them as part of your boarding party. You can take them as part of like your island.
They have special
mini
abilities.
special abilities. Yep, they level up. They get better at what they do.
That's cool.
It's really involved. There's just so many. This is like these games are just mechanic after mechanic after mechanic after mechanic, and like you can choose to engage with it as much or not as much as you want to. Like I stop and play every Sega arcade game. I see. I stop and I'd stop and smell the roses every time in these games.
Yeah.
Just makes it extra fun. But like you don't need to do all that stuff. You can apparently blow through this main story in like 13 hours. But like to see everything, it's like 60. So
Yeah.
That's quite the
that's
drastic
how much.
difference.
That's how much extra. That's how much of this is just stuff. Just
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
in the game. But it's fun stuff. It's piratey stuff. So I'm here
Good.
for it.
I'm glad it's delivering for you. I have yet to hear you say, the team there just didn't pull it off
They
for me this
misstepped.
time,
They misstepped.
you know?
You know what? They just came out. They misstepped.
I don't think I've heard you say that about this team yet, so I'm glad that
Yeah,
that's still not the case.
It's just fun, man. I don't know. It's at this point, it's comfort food, and I feel like I always know I'm gonna get a Yakuza game every year now, which
That's
like
crazy.
exhausting to some, but like I don't know. It's my Madden, I guess. I just every year I know I'm gonna get something.
I like that the pirate battling. They're not even trying to make it like physically realistic. The guy just did like a full spin, like he was.
Oh
like,
yeah, you can
skidding
you can
in
do
the
a
water.
drift if you will. Yeah,
He was drifting.
Yeah,
with a
yeah.
pirate
and
ship.
you can hook shot up into like the crow's nest and like get a rocket launcher out and manually
course.
shoot rocket
Jesus.
launchers out. Like it's
Yeah,
this game's so wacky.
I love it. I love it.